Feeling envious? Green-eyed monster. Salty? Throwing shade. Bitter buddy with FOMO? Sour grapes. A covetous creature. Green-eyed monster's apprentice. Jealous much?
INFJs aren't supposed to feel jealousy, right? We're the listeners, the peacemakers, the ones who give without asking. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Jealousy does live inside us. It just hides better than anywhere else. And when you bury it, it doesn't disappear. It eats you alive from the inside. In today's video, we're uncovering the quiet jealousy of INFJs, why it rarely shows, why it drains us more than other types, and how neuroscience explains the way we literally feel other people's wins and losses as if they're our own. By the end, you'll learn how to tell the difference between envy and intuition, how to use jealousy as a teacher, and why INFJs may struggle with emotional bonds more than anything material. Stick with me because I'm going to show you the hidden shadow of jealousy that no one talks about and how owning it can change your relationships, your confidence, and even your creativity. Now, I don't say this lightly. I've spent years studying personality, emotional intelligence, and neuroscience, and I'm an INFJ myself. So when I say these patterns are real, it's not theory, it's lived experience and backed by research. And if you've ever felt jealous but hated yourself for it, this video is for you. Because we're not here to shame that part of us. We're here to flip it into power. Section 1, the quiet jealousy of INFJs. First, the quiet jealousy. Most personality types show jealousy in obvious ways: snapping, competing, lashing out. INFJs, we do the opposite. We go quiet, we smile, we clap for you, and then we go home and replay the feeling in our head until 3 a.m. Why? Because harmony matters to us more than ego. But suppressing that emotion doesn't erase it. It festers. It becomes fatigue, self-criticism, and resentment. Here's where psychology helps. Envy and jealousy are not the same thing. Envy is wanting what someone else has. Jealousy is fearing you'll lose something you already value. INFJs feel both, but we rarely name them out loud. This distinction matters because when you know which one you're feeling, you can actually deal with it instead of swallowing it whole. And here's where it gets messy. Sometimes what feels like jealousy is actually your intuition talking. Let's get into that. Section 2, envy versus intuition. One of the trickiest things for INFJs is confusing envy with intuition. You meet someone and instantly feel a pang. Is it a warning from your gut, or is it envy dressed up as wisdom? Neuroscience gives us a clue. Mirror neurons. These are the brain cells that fire both when you act and when you watch someone else act. They're what make you cringe when you see someone trip or smile when you watch someone laugh. INFJs, with our heightened empathy, simulate these feelings more intensely. So when you see someone thriving, your brain runs the simulation as if you're living it. That can feel eerily like intuition, but it's not always a warning. Sometimes it's envy, your unlived desire masquerading as a gut check. The trick? Ask, does this feeling point to danger or to something I secretly want for myself? Because if it's the second one, jealousy isn't your enemy, it's your map. And that's where we're headed next. Section 3, jealousy as a teacher. Jealousy doesn't always mean you're petty or insecure. For INFJs, it often means you've spotted an unlived part of yourself. That person you envy for writing a book, maybe it's your own voice begging to be heard. That creator you scroll past with frustration, maybe it's your dream project left sitting in a notebook. Reframing jealousy as a signal changes everything. Instead of shame, it becomes a compass. Neuroscience agrees emotions are data. Envy lights up the brain regions connected to self-reflection and unmet goals. For INFJs, ignoring that signal means cutting off our own growth. So the next time you feel that pang, don't bury it. Ask, what is this showing me that I've ignored? Because jealousy might be the teacher you've been waiting for, and nowhere is this lesson more intense than in relationships. Let's talk about the kind of jealousy that cuts deepest for INFJs. Section 4, Relationships and Jealousy. For INFJs, jealousy rarely centers on money, looks, or possessions. It's about bonds. We don't envy your car. We envy your connection, your late night talks, the way someone else gets the version of intimacy we've been craving. And here's the hard truth, and it's not about being controlling. It's about fearing we'll be emotionally replaced, unseen, or undervalued. When INFJs feel this, the reaction is rarely confrontation. Instead, we withdraw, we overthink, we test people silently. And that silence can kill a relationship faster than anger ever could. The solution? Communication, naming what's happening before it festers. Because our jealousy doesn't mean we don't trust. It means we value the bond so much that losing it feels unbearable. And if you've ever wondered why INFJs can vanish or burn out without warning, this final piece explains it all. Section 5, the shadow side. Here's the part almost no one talks about. The shadow side of INFJ jealousy. We don't explode. We implode. We don't sabotage others. We sabotage ourselves. Left unspoken, jealousy turns into resentment, people-pleasing, overgiving, and finally, burnout. It looks like silence, emotional hoarding, a smile that hides exhaustion, a relationship that feels supportive on the outside but hollow inside. This is the INFJ shadow, when protecting others from discomfort means poisoning ourselves. The way out isn't denying jealousy, it's owning it, naming it, reframing it as data instead of shame. Because when you integrate your shadow, you stop being eaten alive and start living aligned. Quick pause here. If you've made it this far, you already know how much time, effort, and love goes into these videos. I'm not some tech wizard. I'm literally piecing this together with tools like HeyGen, Descript, ChatGPT, and hours of late night writing. So if the flow of this video resonates, do me a favor, hit that like button. It tells YouTube this work matters. It helps INFJs like you actually find these insights. And honestly, it supports me and my family to keep creating. Thank you for watching this far. Now let's bring it home. INFJs don't escape jealousy. We transform it. Quiet jealousy becomes clarity. Envy becomes intuition sharpened. Jealousy in relationships becomes a reminder to nurture our bonds. And the shadow side, that's where we learn our power. So don't bury it, own it. Because INFJs aren't immune to jealousy, we're alchemists. If this video spoke to you, keep the journey going. Watch my INFJ series, Only 1% Think Like This, They Resent Your Light, and 15 Famous INFJs. And stay tuned, because the next videos are some of the most raw and powerful I've ever made. Why We Were Ghosted, INFJ versus OCD, and 7 Creepy Habits of INFJs. Hit subscribe so you don't miss them, and drop a comment below sharing one-time jealousy taught you something about yourself. Because here, we don't just talk personality, we talk transformation.